Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you've all had a very Merry Christmas. Welcome to coverage of today's Vanarama National League South clash between Chippenham Town and Bath City at the Thornbury Surfacing Stadium. I'm Mark Stillman, commentating throughout with Bob Chester on summarising duties. Past experience has told us that this will be a game full of action and maybe even a sprinkling of controversy. Chippenham haven't beaten City at this venue since 2005, despite plenty of opportunities. They've scored the first goal in each of the last 3 fixtures here, but went on to draw 2 and lose 1. The Romans have battled well in their last 2 league games and are unfortunate to have no goals or points to show for it, so they'll be hoping to put that right today and obtain bragging rights against their nearest neighbours in this division. I say bragging rights, Bob. Would it be fair to say that this contest maybe doesn't have the edge that it used to and could have a different type of game today?
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and season's greetings to you all. I hope you had a lovely Christmas day yesterday, and it's back to Boxing Day football. And I know we played Chippenham on at this time of year for the last few seasons, but I still think a Boxing Day fixture or a New Year fixture has something really special to it. And we don't have many local derbies, and I still think it maintains quite a lot of edge to it. And it's nice to have games like this. If you're around London, you get lots and lots of teams where you can have bigger crowds, and you could possibly call those derbies. But this is a real derby, not far between the two towns. And let's hope it's an exciting game on what we haven't seen something for ages. The sunshine, lovely sunny afternoon here in Chippenham.
Yeah, as you alluded to there briefly, this is usually an entertaining match. Last season's 1-1 was the last time we drew in the league, and it was the lowest scoring contest between these clubs at this level. There hasn't been a 0-0 between Bath City and Chippenham in the last 28 meetings. You have to go back all the way to 1901 since we last played out a goalless draw. So you're expecting another pulsating one here?
Well, I certainly hope so. We've seen some cracking games in these games against Chippenham, and let's just hope that continues again today. And I think people like to get out after Christmas Day, and it's just perfect conditions for football. The pitch looks good, sun shines out, local derby, and lots of people starting to fill up the ground here. As you can probably hear, there's a fair bit of noise around us.
There's some key omissions in the Bath City starting 11 this afternoon, Bob. Elliot Freer played in every fixture since he arrived here in the summer. Jack Patton, who'd had a good run of games as well, having come back into the team around November, and they're going to be big misses for the Romans today.
Yeah, they certainly are. Elliot Freer's got tonsillitis, and Jack Patton's got a back strain, so there'll be big misses, and hopefully it won't be too long before they're back. Hopefully next Sunday.
I'll go through the teams as well, because you probably just heard them bellowed over the top of us, but we'll start with Bath City, who are making 2 changes this afternoon. They'll be playing 4-3-3. In goal is Ryan Clark. Full-backs of Eddie Jones and Zach Delaney. Centre-backs are Jordan Dyer and Callum Wood. 3-man midfield, Tom Smith, Joe Rains and Omar Holness comes into the team. And same front 3 as last week, Alex Fletcher, Cody Cooke and Dave Sims-Burgess. On the bench for City, Will Fuller, Tom Richards, Mo Torre and Dylan Kadji. Chippenham Town play a 4-4-2 diamond. In goal is Will Henry. Full-backs Alex Bray and Luke Russ. Centre-backs Will Richards and Kieran Parcell. Defensive midfielder will be Joe Hanks, and 2 in front of them will be Alfie Santos and Callum Gunner. And then returning Ricky Aguiar will be playing behind Harry Parsons and Olu Lawal. On the bench for Chippenham Town, Abdul Razak Tajuddin, Don Ogbeifan, Harrison Lee, Joe Smedley and Will King. It's a very young bench for Chippenham. The officials, the referee is Savas Yiani. He'll be assisted by James Welsh and Brian White. Omar Holness over the top of the ball. He made a return as a substitute last week. And the A4 derby is underway. Smith sent it over to the left-hand side. It's too high for Fletcher and straight out to play for a Chippenham throw. Gunner runs back into Jones. Holness and I picked it up, looks up, threads it behind to Cooke, who's on side, on the right-hand side. Him and Sims-Burgess getting each other's way. Cooke still got it down the right, where Richards is showing good strength. Keep up with him. Still Cooke down the right. He needs an overlapping run, really. He's gone back to Holness, who turns the other side of Gunner well. Got into some space. Plays inside to Jones. Corner of the penalty area. Trying to find the byline. Jones tries to flick it across. It comes last off Russ and behind for a Bath City corner. I think it's just gone out. It Rains over the top. Holness is offering a short option. Rains. It's a free header. It's into the back of the net. It's Dyer against his former club. Awful marking from Chippenham Town. He was left completely unmarked, running 12 yards out. headed it into the ground and into the corner of the net away from Will Henry. 4 minutes gone, Chippenham Town 0, Bath City 1.
Yeah, great goal, great caller from Joe Rains, and Dyer rose high, not challenged, and put a fantastic header downward. Will Henry had no chance. It was down to his right-hand side, but it beat him quite easily. Perfect start for City, and is that Dyer's 3rd goal for us now?
Indeed, yes. As you said, this game often has goals. Still no goalless draw between these clubs now for over a century. As Sims Burgess picks out. Now Smith. Holness is in room. Oh, he's dragged it a little bit too far wide of the penalty area. He's watching Gunner. Still Holness. He's gone overlapping Ryan Jones. Goes back to Smith, who I think was trying to cross it towards Fletcher, but he sort of just safely dinked it into the hand of the goalkeeper, Henry. And Chippenham can try and break down the right-hand side with Bray. He does like to get forward. Now over to Parsons on the edge of the penalty area. Parsons left-footed, shanks it wide under a little bit of pressure from Dyer, and he miscued it really, the man on loan from Swindon. Rains picks up and side foots it to Jones on halfway. He's now charging forward. He's got lots of City men in front of him. He's asking Holness a little bit to play it back across. It hits Parcell and goes behind. Rains, he goes low in fact. It's gone through a crowd of bodies behind everyone, and Smith gets a vital interception. He won the ball against Aguiar, and Chippenham can try and break with Parsons, and the referee's gone back. They have a few words. I think it was the challenge by Holness they weren't too impressed with. I thought the Smith one was a good.
Yeah, he let that go.
Yeah, maybe a word with Holness. Say don't do that again. It's going a little bit more overcast now, but still enough sunshine to warrant players shielding their eyes. As Dyer wins an important header on the edge of the box, there's an offside flag had gone up anyway. Which the shot in the end counted for nothing. There's bounced awkwardly in front of Clark, so that'll give Chippenham a little bit of hope. Chippenham ended with 10 against Hemel in their last game as Rains takes this throw long. Seems Dyer's beaten in the air. He's holding his face for the time being, and Smith commits a foul. He should get caution for that. Just deliberately stopped the break on Aguiar, so he'll clip the back of his heels. It's not a really dangerous position. It's midway inside the Chippenham half, but Tom Smith picks up a caution. First one of the game on 20 minutes. No real complaints. Towards Lawal, he's been quiet in these early stages. He's quiet there as well. He's lost out the wood. Now it's back with really good footwork from Delaney. Escaped through a crowd of Chippenham bodies up to Holness. One touch on to Cooke. Tried to return the favour to Holness, but Parcell gets there first and hacks it straight out of play for a City throw. Delaney goes short to Fletcher. Back to Delaney. Tried to play 1-2 with a Chippenham player, I think. It's now back with Fletcher with a bending shot. It's in the crossbar and come back out. Nothing from Alex Fletcher. Still, the attack is alive with Sims Burgess, and his shot on the turn is over. But, well, Fletcher, he caught us out on commentary. He nearly caught out Henry. Thumps off the face of the bar and stays out. It remains 1-0 to Bath.
Exactly.
Rains picks it up in midfield. Plays it to the left-hand side to Fletcher. Delaney's making an overlapping run. Delaney's now onto this, down the left. He's turned inside well at Bray, now trying to get towards the byline. Still Delaney, really good strength. Laid it off, Smith's got in each other's ways. It's all scramble, and Smith in the end gets a shot and it deflects behind for a corner. All created by Zach Delaney by the byline. It was too many Cookes, including Cody, I think, got in each other's way there.
Yeah, there's so many forwards in there, so many bodies as well. But great work from Delaney.
Rains' low one is Smith, and it's another corner. Again, it was a routine. Smith was around 18 yards out.
It's the 4th corner. City's all from the same spot on the right-hand side.
Yeah,
25.5 minutes gone. City winning 1-0 so far.
Rains floats this one. It's too high. Smith is able to bring it under control. Fletcher's kept in play now near the byline. Oh, he tried to play it back, but Hanks got in the way. Not the best of clearances, though. The Holness sits up for Holness. Shoots, bounces awkwardly in front of Henry, who gathers it well. That's from Fletcher. Again, City are pushing them back well. Good shape about them, despite these enforced last-minute changes. We know Elliot Frey and Jack Patton is. Bray down the right side. He's got room to run at Delaney. Still Bray, cutting inside towards the penalty area. Lays it across to Santos now. Santos gets on his left foot with a curler, and it's just wide of goal. He's been in good goal-scoring form recently. Alfie Santos got 2 in 2. Unfortunately, then he didn't make it 3 in 3. I think the change of shape of the team for them, or the change of personnel, position-wise, hasn't helped as much as Fletcher now charging down the left-hand side. He's got away from Bray, but Richards stands up well and sends it a little bit short to Henry, who had to get there before Fletcher. As we know, never stops running, Fletcher. playing in his first A4 derby. Now Hanks, side foot pass to Bray over on the inside in his own half. Santos got a lot of room again on this right hand side. Whips in a decent ball, and that's what I was just talking about, really. They get it in right areas. It was just too long for Parsons. Lowell plays it square to Santos, looking to drive the City defence. He shoots, and it bounced up in front of Clark. He did well to gather it. See if they can see it out until half-time with this lead intact, as Wood loses that in the air. Lowell's picked it up, played it in behind. Parsons blazes it out of the ground. Poor finish. Set up a tad awkwardly, I think, but he just leant back, laces through it, and it goes out of the stadium. Clark's goal kick isn't the best, but it's reached halfway to Holness, who asking a bit of Sims Burgess. Should keep being played on the right-hand side. Russ is keeping an eye on him. Still Sims Burgess. Sims Burgess getting towards the byline, drills it all the way across. Smith's mishit it on the 6-yard line, and had he not, that could have been real problems for Chippenham. I think it sort of crept underneath his feet and he didn't get full connection. Now Chippenham can try and break. Now they can't because Delaney's got in the way, but his ball is shanked forward to Hanks, who plays it forward, and good covering from this young Bath City back line. Lost the second one, and thinks left a leg in on Will Richards. And he was on trial at Bath City in the summer. Taking the free kick quickly as Richards, a good one as well, to the right-hand side. Santos plays it across, it's blocked from Wood. Still picked up from Santos. Dangerous one, now Parsons stabbed it, it's blocked again from Dyer, and Parsons is still battling away in there. And Chippenham really knocking on the door at the moment. 43 minutes, they've got a corner. Alex Bray's having to go off for Chippenham, which is not what they need. That's a fullback. And Will King, who was on the bench on Saturday, making an appearance. Santos whips in a corner towards Parcell, not under control. Aguiar helps it back forward. Range slips, but he manages to clear just back to the taker. Santos hammers it all the way across goal. Lowell's chested it down. City managed to get it away. Will Henry over the top of this. He went in the half-time 1-0 down last season, but for Bath City. And he goes in the half-time 1-0 down for Chippenham Town, because the first effort on goal resulted in the first goal. Joe Range's corner, completely unmarked, was Jordan Dyer to head downwards around 10 yards out, neatly into the corner of the net, which separates the teams so far. With a lot of Bath City fans who are trying to get more excited now as Cooke plays it towards the front post, headed away from Parcell. Smith picks it out near the edge of the box and chests it down and volleys it around 6 or 7 yards wide of Henry's right-hand post. Richards gets between two City men to win a header. Wood's the wrong side of Lowell for the time being, but get away with it. Delaney clears towards halfway. So a little bit untidy. Both teams perhaps in possession. Here's Aguiar near the edge of the penalty area, shimmying into space, and he's fouled by Eddie Jones. And it's a promising position for Chippenham. It's probably 25 yards out. Pretty central. I think Aguiar might fancy this.
Yeah, he's just beginning to feel that for a moment City were just not in control of what's gone on there, and a little bit panicky.
Aguiar missed the game against Hemel. Let's see what he can do with this. He's eyeing it up. Aguiar shoots. What a goal! Knew at the moment it hit his boot that was going to creep inside Ryan Clark's right-hand post. He placed it perfectly. It landed around a foot off the bottom of the floor, so he got the elevation perfectly. And on 53 minutes, it's Chippenham 1, Bath City 1.
And that goal went in virtually the identical spot that Jordan Dyer's goal went in the 4th minute. That was the 8th minute of the second half, and it was a textbook free kick. 25 yards from goal, right-footed, up over the wall, down, and it was actually giving Ryan Clark no chance at all. Chippenham fans singing behind the goal. It's now 1-1 and all to play for in this A4 derby.
They've lost it on the edge of the box, Chippenham, as Hanks. Now Cooke squares it to Sims Burgess, gets it under control. Sims Burgess back to Cooke with a curler too close to Henry. Chippenham played themselves into trouble. It was Hanks who was dispossessed. I think Sims Burgess did the right thing in playing it back to Cooke. His finish was too deliberate and too close. It's long ball over the top. Wood missed out. Lowell's onto it near the corner of the penalty area. Aguiar's waiting in the middle. He sort of stumbled over his own feet, Lowell. He's gone back now to Santos. Squared it to Parsons. He somehow got a shot in, but too close to Ryan Clark. He did ever so well, the Swindon Loney, to manage to find the target at all, and Ryan Clark was underneath it to gather. So Rangers got it now near the byline. Fizzes it across. Holness, what a header at the near post. Bath City have restored their lead. Joe Raines, the king of assists this afternoon. And Omar Holness gets his third goal for Bath City Football Club, his first in the league. Right in the yard out. He couldn't miss from there. 58 minutes. Chippenham 1, Bath City 2.
Yeah, from a throw-in on the right-hand side, got Joe Raines, lovely cross-in, and there was Omar Holness. And I was just going to say before that phase of play went, if it had been a boxing match, I think City would be, winning on points, although the score was 1-1 because they played the better football. But that is the perfect response, and that's after 59 minutes. So they were only level for 6 minutes. So that's a great quality, and 2 assists for Joe Raines, who's certainly doing really, really well in midfield. And that's I was saying how well Omar Holness was playing, particularly in the first half, and that again, somebody's come back into the side, do their confidence a world of good.
But Chippenham back in possession again with Gunner down the right-hand side. He's being asked a little bit. Smith is after him, still Gunner. Fizzes it across goal. City can just get it away. Holness can't quite. It's out to Hanks on the edge of the box. Too many players in the way. And City can try and break. Chippenham are now going to have to commit men forward, so it could open things up a little bit more. Lowell challenges with Dyer. Dyer gets a good strong header away to Sims Burgess, who cushions it back, and Holness, the goal scorer, gets in the way again. They're going to make a change actually now, Bath City. Alex Fletcher's afternoon is up on the hour, and coming on some fresh legs in Mo Torre. Jones with a throw down the right, well controlled from Cooks, turned away from his man, tried to play it across. It's picked up now from Torre, shimmies into space. Torre, he somehow kept control of it. No foul. Raines with a shot is blocked, and it goes behind. It must have taken a deflection of a City player, and it's behind for a goal kick.
He's played well, Santos.
Yeah, he's a good handy player. He's back in the team. He's been in and out of it this season. It's headed forward from Gunner. No offside on Parsons. Turning the other side as well. This is a chance for Parsons. What a block that is from Delaney, Wood in fact, who slid in perfectly to intercept the Chippenham forward, adding to his hat-trick here on his last appearance. That was vital. That
was a fantastic block. I mean, I could see the shot coming in and Ryan Clark having a real problem to deal with, but fantastic play by Wood.
Sims Burgess should get booked there. He's clipped Hanks on halfway. He sort of came in on the blind side a little bit. I think it's going to be a first caution for the... Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
For former Yate man. Pretty much dead on the midway point of this second half. It's only the second yellow of the contest.
Yeah.
To the left-hand side to Russ. Now to Hanks. Midway inside the Chippenham. He's going to line up a shot. He's very far out. And follow-up shot from Parsons. He's again pretty ambitious on the turn. He had more time than he thought. Lowell picks it up on halfway. Now to Santos. Oh, lovely footwork that is to get away from Holness. Brazilian outdoes the Jamaican, but in the end, Raines, the Bathonian, gets the better of both of them. And Sims Burgess lunges in. He could be in trouble. I think he's off. On the blind side, it's a second yellow card, and Bath City are down to 10 men for this final 20 minutes. Dave Sims Burgess picks up 2 yellow cards in the space of around 3 minutes, and that's going to make the closing stages a little bit more difficult for Joey Gill's men.
Yeah, I was wondering when the substitution, I didn't want to say, I wondered whether it would be Sims Burgess coming off or Fletcher, and another sending off in this game, and certainly now City got a little bit extra to deal with.
So it's a free kick to Chippenham. Hanks is over the top, and Dyer heads it away from the edge of his own penalty area. City are going to have to ask a lot of these players out there as Holness robs it in midfield, plays it inside neatly to Smith. Torre's in room down the right hand side. Smith turns inside, he's held from Richards. I think that could be a yellow as well. No, he's not going to have a word with the Chippenham centre-back. We've had a few players sent off here. Anthony Straker, Donovan Wilson last year. Chippenham ended up 10v10 against Hemel last week. I think it's going to be a more 4-4-1, pretty much. Cooke's going to have to do an awful lot of chasing up front. They've now got sort of 2 banks of 4 back. It's chipped over the top, and away is Aguiar now, bearing down a goal. Wood goes, Delaney goes through the back of him. He won the ball. He took a chance, Delaney, but clearly won the ball. The referee was perfectly placed to judge that he didn't take a man first. Smith almost placed Cooke in the trouble. He sent it down the line, but, well, Delaney was sort of coming in behind Aguiar, and he did very well to nick the ball away from him. Clever ball over the top, but well read from Torre. He's got to do some defending now because City are down to 10 men with 13 minutes remaining. They lead by 2-1 here in Wiltshire in the A4 derby as Aguiar's got it now to Santos on the right-hand side. Floats one near the penalty spot. It gets a handy little flick on. Aguiar sort of stabs a foot in, wide of goal, and Delaney tries to clear. Not a good one. It deflects straight back off a Chippenham leg. It's Hanks plays it across goal. Important interception. There's all sorts of deflections in there. Rains gets away. Chippenham are really knocking on the door. Bath City are defending deeply to try and see out this lead which they currently have, as King with a good ball to Santos on the right hand side. It's like a reverse of the fixture last year when Chippenham played the majority of that with 10 men and City came back to draw 1-1. Smith's putting Santos under more pressure. He's forced back now. Done a sterling job there for the time being, Smith, but Bath City are going to be getting a little bit tired doing so much chasing with Russ on the left-hand side. Ball towards Lala. Oh, he's sending it across goal. Must be. No, what a save. Clark appeals to handball. It was Hanks' shot. There was a block in there somewhere. I thought it was Clark, but going by the appeals, it must have come off a Bath City player in the way, and it goes behind for a goal kick. This is getting very, very interesting.
Certainly is. That was absolutely amazing defending then. I was expecting the back of the net to bulge, but great blocking.
So we say Chippenham, although they're playing against 10 men, they've got players themselves out of position. They're very short on numbers. As Gunner heads it across goal towards the edge of the box. Parsons tries to play it over his own shoulder. Rains and Smith have won the ball back for Bath City. Now Smith, it's 2-on-2. If he plays Rains to the right side, took too long, Smith. He still managed to get it clear though. Cooke is onside. Cooke is clean through. Cooke, is he fouled? He is fouled. It was Will King who came through the back of him. He could be in trouble as well. Cooke looked to pull the trigger. A card came out. I didn't see which colour it was, which is
I thought the opportunity was being lost, and a ricochet did fall nicely for City.
I think it's a yellow card for King.
I wouldn't want to see someone sent off for that, because everybody was trying to go for the ball and everything. And
it was one I thought Smith had taken too long,
yeah,
and
it
sort of took a fortunate ricochet of Cooke. The flag stayed down. Cody Cooke's on to it. Yeah, King was booked. If he sticks this away, we can relax a little bit more in the closing stages.
And it was a great break, wasn't it, from Rains and Smith, with Cooke then in support. And between the three of them, they ended up getting this penalty. Let's see what happens with it.
Will Henry waits. Cody Cooke steps up, scores perfectly inside the goalkeeper's right post. Cody Cooke is lethal from the spot. He's lethal, full stop. He has scored his 13th goal of the season with 6 minutes remaining. Chippenham 1, 10-man Bath City 3.
Yeah, Chippenham, they've really, really battled, and they've just been caught on the break, and City have certainly punished them. And as I say, it was great work from Rains and Smith. It was a penalty, and Cody Cooke certainly dispatched it with aplomb. And City are 3-1 up, and a spirited fight back. That one that was blocked, we thought was going to be a goal a few minutes ago from Chippenham, and City have responded, and a lucky ricochet that led to the penalty eventually. But I think overall it's they will deserve to win this game. But boy, has it been a challenge and a fight for them at times against a very spirited Chippenham side, rather.
There's all sorts of substitutions going on at the moment. Chippenham have made 2. They've brought off Harry Parsons and Ricky Aguiar, and they've brought on Abdul Razak Tajdin and Don Ogbuffen. That's a guess at the pronunciation. Apologies to anyone listening. And Omar Holness, who scored Bath City's second, is going to be withdrawn. This is in the 80th. We just crossed over into the 86th minute, and coming on, Tom Richards. Big hug as well between Omar Holness and Joey Gill as well, which is lovely to see. Parcell chips it over towards the one side. Great ball that is to Santos, who beautifully cushions it back to Gunner on the right. Chippenham are going to have to go for broke like they did to try and get their way back into the game, and they were caught on the break. But here's Santos near the corner flag. He's somehow escaped Torre, played it back across into a good area. Bills again for a penalty. Didn't see too much in that. It was Cooke doing some defending, came back, nothing given as Richards plays it towards the penalty spot. His way to the edge of the box to Ogbuffen trying to battle his way through, and Lowell in there as well. Punches the ground in anger because it just trickles through to Ryan Clark.
Situations like that, it's always hard for referees to be 100% sure. So many players dive, and particularly if you're going down the slope, it's so easy to lose your feet as well if you're going at that pace. my reaction, it wasn't a penalty. No, none of the players claimed for it either.
Santos can hardly let Bob get words in because so much pressing from Chippenham Town again down the left-hand side. Back to Ogbuffen. Lines up a shot and has confidence in the youngster. He's around 30 yards out and it goes 2 or 3 yards over, and City are going to make their third and final change.
Yep, it's
Dylan Kadji.
Kadji coming on.
For Joe Rains. Coming on. And so we'll have pretty much stoppage time.
About 4 minutes, I guess.
Chippenham will try and break again past halfway with Richards behind, and Delaney wins the header. Kadji wins the ball in midfield. Smith, City can break again. It's 3-on-1. Cooke is in room on the right-hand side. Cooke could really seal it. Cooke, 1-on-1. Cooke scores! Bath City have made it 4-1 in added on time. And they're down to 10 men. What an absolutely remarkable finale here at Harden Hewish Park. Cody Cooke has a second. Bath City have a fourth. Chippenham Town 1, Bath City 4. What a Boxing Day for the Romans.
Well, you have to see the fact that Chippenham are pushing players forward so often, and they fell for the sucker punch again. They're so easy if you do get the ball, get on the counter-attack, and City got this pace and the quality going forward, and certainly they outnumbered the home defence as they were all pushing forward, and it was another clinical quality finish from Cody Cooke.
What did we say before? If Bath City take their chances, one team could be on the receiving end of a hiding. I did not expect this to happen when on 71 minutes Bath City were reduced to 10 men. This is staggering.
Yeah, it's all about it is about taking your chances. Sorry about the language behind me.
Absolutely staggering. This game has everything, football and the A4 derby in particular. Absolutely remarkable. When you're defending 40 yards from your own goal, there's a minute left. You've had to work hard. You're going up a slope, and they broke at pace.
Yeah.
And I just tell that Cooke was going to score.
Yeah, I had all the confidence that he was going to score because he's doing really well.
Ogbuffen on the edge of the box. Chippenham trying to barge their way through with Tajdeen forced wide. Sends a ball across, and it's out of play for a goal kick. Squared it to Ogbuffen. Over to the left-hand side now. Parcell. Tajdeen near the corner of the penalty area. Bit of a muddle there, but that's the end of the game. It's been a Boxing Day bashing for Chippenham Town. Bath City have ended up running riot, and they've run riot a man down. They were 1-0 up on 4 minutes. Jordan Dyer, former Chippenham player last season, heading home Joe Rains' corner. Chippenham levelled on 53. Ricky Aguiar, fine free kick, which cracked inside Ryan Clark's right-hand post, but City responded positively. Omar Holness nodded in from close range on 58 minutes, his first league goal for the club. Chippenham were pressing for a way back into it. They thought they could have had a penalty themselves. It was not awarded. Bath City broke. Cody Cooke was appended by Will King as he ran clean through on goal, and Will Henry, who saved a couple of penalties this season, went the wrong way for Cody Cooke, and he managed to put City 3-1 up. And then on another lethal counter-attack where Chippenham were completely outnumbered, Cooke darted up the slope and coolly rolled it past Will Henry to make this the sweetest late Christmas present you could wish for Bath City fans. Chippenham Town 1, Bath City 4. Bob, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I always enjoy when we win away, particularly, and yeah, it was an excellent performance. City certainly had some challenges thrown in front of them, but they responded magnificently. And you get a fair bit of noise around us now as the players are going to go past us shortly, and the crowds build up in the area, paved area in front of us before they can go out. But yeah, really excellent performance, and Jerry Gill will enjoy the next week, and we can all look forward to a return game in a week's time.
To be reduced to 10 men on 71 minutes, to be playing up the slope against a Chippenham Town side who have had a good season. They've had a good run of form recently, but, well, yeah. Bath City, I mean, everything that was thrown at them, they dealt with it and then some. To go on and score 2 with 10 men against a side like Chippenham was a magnificent effort.
And I think it's lovely to see Tom Smith playing well, because he was involved in both those goals, the breakaway goals. The pace that he had, the drive that he had, the vision he had. I know there was a slight lucky rebound on the last goal that led to the penalty, but he certainly played with skill, confidence and vision, which is nice to see, and I hope he can get a run in the team and return to the form we all know that he can.
Thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon from myself and Bob Chester, because we certainly enjoyed covering this latest thriller at Harden Hewish Park. We'll be back on air for the return meeting on the 2nd of January. So hope you've all had a very Merry Christmas. We wish you all a Happy New Year, and oh, what fun it was to see the City win away. So from myself and Bob Chester, thank you again for tuning in to Bath City Radio, where here in Wiltshire it finished Chippenham Town 1, Bath City 4.